All right, well, hey, well, it's Wednesday, August the 12th. And what day is it? Question of the week, exactly. And the question I'm going to review is I said who would win in a prime match between Roy Jones Jr. and Joe Calzaghe. And I said, give me some reasons, don't just say blah blah because of this. And you did. And we had 42 votes were cast total. And it was 23 to 19. And it was like I said, it was close. And it was Roy Jones Jr. Was the winner of the Prime versus Prime. And if you think of any other Prime versus Primes you want to throw up there, give me a little message there, and I'll look at them and see if they're, and I'll put them out there. But we have the 23 people were Smattle 707, Hudithan, Brodovich, Phil Sims 10, John 134, Sight Upon Light, Will Million 15, D2 Spencer, Red Pandemic, Shytown Tiz, Iron Dan Hamza, who had like 8,000 comments on this. It was pretty awesome. I mean, very informative. SP the King, Ashy Knuckles, Dolans, 951 Thompson, Taco and Beer, God Like Rich, Mr. the Guy 1989, Fire Guy X, Bunts 101, R1, Paul 8770, and Dragon Style 619. And let me go over a couple of the winning comments. I really had a lot of Joe ones done, but I didn't get a real chance to do them because you guys went against me. Actually, it'd have been 20 because I would have included myself with the Joe Calzaghe, but even my vote wouldn't have put it over. Dragon Style 619. A Prime, Roy Jones was just too fast, too good for any version of Joe Calzaghe. Sorry, Joe fans, that's just what I think. Don't get me wrong, Calzaghe could make it a good fight, but in the end, Roy wins it. R. 101, God, he had so many. Let's see, I'll do... Jones needed his flurries, reflexes. Without that, he only had flashes. He knocked down Roy Jones Jr. He talks about the competition that they fought. He goes, why isn't Jones regaled as a Hall of Fame pound for pound guy when he's 46-0, unlike with the way Pretty Boy Floyd is at 39-0. So if he fought better fighters, it would be that. Let's see who we have. Yeah, I don't know. Jensen. There's Paul. Prime Roy Jones would whoop Calzaghe's behind. Calzaghe fought Roy Jones way past his best when his abilities had declined so much more than Calzaghe's. People think about Calzaghe's record, but there's so much garbage on that record. Bika, Manfredo, Salam Pudwell, Ashira Mitchell, Roy Jones Jr., the fighter of the decade that says it all. Okay, yeah, gotta kind of go with that. Let's see who else can I get in here real quick. Well, Bunts 101. I believe Roy Jones would beat a prime Joe Calzaghe. Roy Jones in his prime was possibly the greatest fighter he'd ever had the pleasure of seeing. Or I think was the only fighter in history who would years in and out without losing a round. Roy's resume is too harshly looked at these days. There was an interview in '96, and he talks about it. He said he would dominate him the way he dominated all-time greats like Virgil Hill, James Toney, Mike McCallum, Bernard Hopkins. And he says, do you think Roy or Calzaghe could do it? And we have let's see, who else can I throw in here? Fire Guy X. All right, I'll throw you in. Considering Jones beat a good young Hopkins and prime Toney, that says a lot about Jones. I think a prime Hopkins would have beat a prime Calzaghe. So he's saying, dude, No, we don't even have to go to Jones. Hopkins. He thought a prime Hopkins would beat a prime Calzaghe. Now, what is a prime Hopkins? That's another one. Because Hopkins, believe it or not, I mean, he got better with age. He's doing things to these young guys that you wouldn't even think of now. So, Mr. the Guy 1989, Roy Jones Jr., I think would have won because of the reflexes and an unconventional style. I think that Roy in his prime wouldn't have stood there and took punches. He said Calzaghe couldn't have hurt Jones with his hands were, and his punches were just pitter-patter. I think in her primes, Jones would knock Calzaghe out. Wow. Taco and beer basically said I was high. So, I'm going to leave it at that. He had some nice stuff. You know, and, you know, 951 Thompson, Roy was unbeatable in the 90s. He was like uber, beyond human. Let's see, who else wants to be, you know, Radojevic? Every time I pass him up, he lets me know that I didn't get his comment in. And I'm like, dude, I try to get, you know. He puts a lot of B-hops. The man, obviously, slammed me pretty good. He says, Roy Jones Jr. Answer, Montel Griffin, fight 2. Not the first one when he got disqualified for hitting him while he was down and all that crap. He goes, Prime Roy Jones Jr. does what he wants in the way he wants. And he did. He destroyed him in that, knocked him out in the first round. I mean, it was sick. Yeah, that was a beatdown that shouldn't have been, like, Samato 707 against Prime Roy Joe would be too slow. His athleticism and agility was too much for anyone. Not until age caught up with him and slowed him down that anyone was able to land anything on him. I still believe Joe would have been knocked out by a Prime Roy. So, there you go. That's some of you guys out there. Thank you again for your comments. Now this one was pretty decent. Didn't not a lot of views, but a lot of comments. A lot of comments. Over almost like 25% of views were comments. That's good. And we had, like I said, 42 votes on there. And if you watched the video and didn't make a comment on it, make a comment. Let your voice be heard. I look at them. Spend all that time writing down names. Okay, so we have that. We got that taken care of. Question of the week 10 is gone. Now it's time for question of the week 11. That follows 10, right? Okay. So mine was A Voice for Vendetta. Had brought up a great thing, and I kind of liked it. He goes, he wants to consolidate the weight classes and only have one belt. And I was thinking, no, I would like to keep all the weight classes we have and drop it to one belt, or consolidate the weight classes to 5: Bantam, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavy, Bantam, welter, middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight, 5. And have just one, and have multiple titles. What would you think? Would you rather have all the weight classes we have right now and just one champion, or consolidate the weight classes and maybe have multiple champions? I'm just throwing that out there. I want to hear what you have to say. Okay? And also check out our me and Butterfreeze video there we got going for the What is Boxing. I would really like for you to, if you have that one comment that you really want to say about boxing, what is boxing to you? What is it here in your heart? What does it mean to you? What is it about? What made you, like that with boxing? So please give us that one-liner, and so we can get that video going and get it up, and it'll be awesome. Maybe we'll pitch it to somebody, try and see if we can't get it on one of the specials. All right? This is Bigragu. I'm out.